Hey guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Today's video, and I know it's been a hot minute since I did a video. Anyway, today's video is actually part of a Light Up the Holidays hop featuring Pear Blossom Press and all the fun things that you have in your stash for doing Christmas cards or holiday cards. We are going to get this season started off right and knock out some of those special holiday cards for the special people in our lives. What I'm going to be working with today is the Snow Notes Simon Hurley and Spellbinders die set. Cute, super cute little snowmen singing up a storm. I'm going to use some twinkle lights. For my lights, I'm going to use some of the world's best foam tape to pop everything up. And of course, for my button, I'm going to be using the Pear Blossom Press Stamp and Die Bundle. So let's go ahead and get some die cutting done and get this card put together. So I've got all of my little pieces. I've actually cut out way too many, and I've got multiples of my little snowman. Right now, I'm just going to add a little touch of shady around the edges just to give them a little bit of dimension. Just a touch, not much. And I'm just bringing a little bit from the outside. So shady is this nice light gray color, and I'm not picking up much onto my brush. I'm just coming in a little bit, do a little bit of shading from the edges. So it makes it so these snowmen aren't stark white, because that doesn't actually happen in real life. Make them look a little bit more realistic. And I've got 3 of the different snowmen. So the die set comes with your 3 snowmen. It comes with this piece that's going to be for behind the mouth and behind the buttons, the coal buttons. Yes, coal. And then we've got scarves, and then we've got different pieces for the nose. Yeah, corn. Carrots. Yeah, carrot nose. And then we've got the arms. We've got fa la 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 la. And then we've got some songbooks. So we're going to use all of those pieces, and I've got a lot extra cut out. But first, I'm just going to add a little bit of shading to my little snowman. So now I'm going to put together my little songbooks. My snowmen were just so friggin' easy. I don't know. These scarves I cut out of some pattern paper because I don't do that very often, and I thought that would be fun. I think this one, I believe, was something I stamped like years ago that I really wasn't going to use for anything, so I used it for my snowman's scarves, because scarves are always lots of different colors, or at least I think they are. I live in Florida, so I don't know. I don't actually see real snowmen. So anyway, we've got the white page, and then we've got the book cover. So I'm doing 3 different book covers. I've got blue and red and green because I thought it would be fun to have different ones. You could always do them all matchy, but I didn't do that. I have a little bit of the pages sticking up. And we have a songbook for each of our little snowmen. And then the only thing that is left for our snowmen is going to be the arms. And I haven't decided how I want the arms to be arranged, because you don't have to have all the arms. Well, I should probably do that. We've got different pieces for the arms. We've got little pieces that are curved like this to go around and holding the book. So we should probably do that. I'm going to, I think, attach it. I'm going to go ahead and just do this one. So there's a little knob on the end there. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to that little dot, that little circle. Pop it back behind my snowman. Do the same thing for the arm on the other side. As I pop that back there behind it. So now we've got his little arms coming out front. Okay, we have his little arms coming in the front, and now I can put his book in his hands. So once that glue is dry on the back, I can put this on there, and he'll be holding. That's going to be friggin' adorable. So for my background, I'm going to use the stitched snowflakes, again, from Simon Hurley. I love a lot of things Simon Hurley. Anyway, we're going to do this on some dark blue cardstock, and I'm going to use some white pigment ink. And then we're going to heat emboss over it because I think that's going to be really, really pretty. But I think this time I may use some glitter embossing powder, which I haven't really used much of lately. So we're going to give that one a try. Usually what I do is I just heat emboss with clear over things. But this time I'm going to use some of my glitter embossing. So this one is Clear Sparkle. So first off, let's do a good job of using our anti-static powder tool because I always forget. This one is from Rabbit Hole Designs. I'm just going to cover that in some of the, basically some just powder. It is powder that is going to make it so that the ink, that the embossing powder doesn't stick where it's not supposed to. And now I'm going to cover this with some Gina K white pigment ink. Okay. And I'm going to just put this straight down. I'm going to go like this. See, I think that actually that would not look too bad, but I do want it to have good coverage. Let me put a little bit more ink down to make sure that I get those edges. So I'm going to make sure I put the powder side down. And then I'm going to press it. This is just an eraser, a chalkboard or whiteboard eraser. Okay, that looks lovely. Let me move this out of the way. And now we're going to cover this in some sparkly goodness. I'm going to make sure I get all of the pieces. So I don't think you can see, I can see the glitter. I don't know that you guys can. But let me go ahead and grab out my embossing tool. So this one is from Wagner. I'm going to start heating from the bottom because I don't want the glitter to fly away, and it can sometimes do that. Have an idea of where I want my lights to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything else together. So I'm going to add the lights pretty much last. So let's put our snowman right in the center here. Now we can add our other little snowman. So let's go ahead and trim this down. I want it to be about a 1/4 inch shorter on two sides, and that is going to give me a 4 by 5 1/4. It's going to give me 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And yes, there's a little bit of blue showing there, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to be close. So on these two sides, I'm going to trim it down by 1/8 of an inch. So I kind of want all that snowy goodness to be still up at the top. And you could of course trim this down smaller if you want to, but this is going to give me that little 1/8 of an inch all the way around that I like on most of my cards. So the lights I'm going to be using are the Twinkle lights. They come in a 5-pack. I've already used most of this pack, so I've just got 2 of them left in this pack, and they come in a little circuit board that is attached. It freaked me out first time I saw anything like that, so yeah, it's okay. They're supposed to break apart just like that. And then we've got our 3 little lights on the end of some wires. That makes it really, really easy to be able to do this, okay? So I'm going to put a battery in. Brand new batteries. All of the light sets come with batteries. And we're going to just slide it in. So your battery, first off, it is a very thin guy. Perfect for this. It has a little plus sign there. That means that's positive, and that's the part that goes up. On your mechanism, there's also a little plus sign, so that tells you which direction as well. So it just slides in. It can only slide in from one side, and I always test it first thing. So push the button, and yes, those lights come on. And they're twinkling. I love it. Anyway, we're going to be putting these guys on the back of our card. So first I need to know, where do I want to put the button? I think I'm going to put the button down here. That's going to be perfect. And for my button, because now that this is all embossed and pretty, I'm not going to try to stamp something over that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a little button sentiment piece. Okay. The Stamp and Die bundle comes with a little die, a little circle die, and I'm going to use my favorite stamp out of the bunch that says press here. And we're just going to stamp a little sentiment, if you will, and cut that out real quick to make our little button. I'm going to use a little midnight snack from Simon Hurley to match the blue. I also had forgotten, when you use the anti-static powder bag or powder tool, you're going to want to brush off the excess after you get done with the embossing. So I did that with a microfiber cloth, being gentle not to knock off any of the glitter, and it seems like everything worked out fine, so that was perfect. Let me grab some of the ink with my stamp, and there we go. We have a little note. Now I'll just need to die cut that out, and we'll have our little button to go down here in the corner. One thing I really love is that this little die is perfect to go around that little sentiment. But I also know that I could possibly not die cut it out right, so I'm also using my magnetic magic mat. I love using my magic mats, period. Let me grab the plate. But I love my magic mats, period, because I'm able to save my acrylic plates. But the magnetic one also holds everything pretty much in place because it's magnetic. It will hold on to that little die so that it doesn't shift around and get out of place. Makes it so much easier. I mean, you can possibly move it around and mess it up, but I haven't found that that has really been an issue. So look at that. We now have a perfect little press here button to go on the front of our card over where we're going to put the actual button. And I'll go ahead and add my button. A lot of times I do add the button after the fact, and you could definitely do that. Since I know where I want this to go, I'm going ahead and adding it now. So this is going to go right behind there. I'm going to grab some double-sided adhesive so it can hold on to the back of this card panel. And just like every other kind of card making that you do, the more that you do this, the more comfortable you're going to get. And this really isn't rocket surgery. It's not really all that hard. I mean, it's nothing like when I tried to do light up cards with copper tape and then had to ask my husband why the circuits didn't work when I did it wrong. Yeah, I wasn't able to follow his instructions as much as I would have liked to. So I'm basically putting on my little button. It's going to go right behind where that press here is. So it's right down here in the corner. And I can still move it around a little bit as I get that in place. So if I press there, the lights come on. Perfect. I'm going to press that in place. Now we get to decide, where do we want our lights to show? We've got lots of shiny goodness. So my thought is, why not have it in the middle of a couple of those snowflakes? So I'm going to go right in the middle of this big one here. I'm just going to use my pokey tool to go right through there. And let's do another one over here. And let's do this one over here. Well, I think I'm going to go through this small one over here just to be different. Okay, and now from the back, I should be able to pop these through those holes. If the holes are not big enough, I can always do something more. Or you can just... Actually, that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to take one of my lights. These lights, if you look at them closely, they are yellow on one side and they are metallic on the other. The yellow part that is kind of sticking out is the LED light itself. So that is the part where the light comes out. So I'm just going to poke that right there. I'm holding it in place, and then I'm going to grab a piece of Scotch tape to tape it in place. And then let's see what that one looks like in the front. I think that is perfect. When it's not on, you really don't see it. And then when you hit the button, you see that little light pop on. I think that is going to be perfect. I like that little surprise factor. So we're going to do the same thing with our other two. And then we're going to test it again. And I love how the lights are all out of sync. That is perfect. Now we've got this extra wire. That is fine. We're just going to tape that down onto the back of our card so it's kind of out of the way. And then we can add our foam tape. So there we go. So that's basically everything done. Now all we need to do is put that onto our card base. And to make sure that I get everything lined up, I'm going to use my Pear Blossom Press A7 T-square. This one has got a couple of jigs on there. One is for 1/8 of an inch and the other one is for 1/4 of an inch. And I cut this panel to be 1/8 of an inch smaller on all sides, right? So that's going to be the side that I'm going to use. So the way that it works is it has a little indent on one side. I'm going to have that facing down so that my card base can slide underneath it right into that jig. And then I can put my card right over the top. Now I do want to make sure that it opens the direction I think it's gonna. So I'm going to put that right down in place. And then I slide that right up to the edge there. And as long as I put everything straight on there, I'm good. That looks pretty good. I think it is a little bit off. I'm going to try again. One of the things I love about this tape, and I really hope we can get some more, is that it is repositionable for 30 minutes. Unfortunately, I think right now it is not in stock and we don't know when it's going to come back. But yeah, we can pray, right? Pray, guys. I'm going to go ahead and slide that back in again and eyeball it to see if it looks like it's about right. It may just be that my card base may not be cut exactly A2. And if that's the case, we are good. Okay. I'm going to say that is good. Let's go ahead and test it again. I'm going to actually turn off one of my lights so y'all can see it a little bit more in the dark. And look at the shine though. Look at the glitter. And then there we go. I think this is super cute. Oh, almost forgot. We have to put a sentiment on this. So these little banners are kind of cool. It gives kind of a debossed sentiment in there that just says fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la. Yeah, fa la la la. And I'm going to put the second one. I'm going to put a white one and a red one together. And I'm going to offset it just a little bit so that you can see the white underneath. Might help if it adhered first before I start moving it towards the camera. But you can see that on there. And I'm going to put it off to the side. I'm not going to overlap our light because that would kind of defeat the purpose. So normally you would probably put it right over the top, but if I do that, it's going to go over one of those lights and I don't want to do that. So let's add a little bit of glue to the back. I'm going to turn the lights back on as I position this so that I do not cover up any of my twinkling lights. Isn't that just so fun? Yeah, I love it. Love it, love it. I hope that I inspired you today. I really do. So I hope that you will take out your lights. I know that you've got them. You've got them there sitting in your stash. You've been waiting for the perfect reason to use them. Go ahead and make something special for one of those special people in your life this holiday season. And while you're at it, while you're sitting here watching this video, be sure to check out the rest of the guys in the hop. There are some amazing creators in this hop. So you want to see all of the wonderful things that they create with Pear Blossom lights for the holidays. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.